Welcome to the 2.0 Grandma Podcast, a space created by a grandma for grandmas and all about grandmas. Our mission is clear: to empower and support grandmas as they redefine, realign, and redesign their lives.
Okay, so I'm so excited that we finally got a chance to get together and talk. I love what you're doing. We are with Miss Sheila Agnew. And Sheila, I've noticed you on Instagram, I think is where I see you most, because I'm not on TikTok that much. So I've noticed you on Instagram, and I noticed you do quite a few things. So you talk, you have motivational speeches that you say to people in the mornings and stuff like that, or whatever time of day. And then you also, I noticed you do some little fashion modeling. I noticed that. And then you talk a lot about, about aging, this phenomena, I call it, of aging, and how you just need to embrace it. And this is what my take on what you're saying. Okay. You need to embrace it and go with it, be yourself, and have fun at it. And that is what attracted me to what you are doing, to your platform and the movement that you created. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you about it. And then I love the physical fitness part of it as well.
Exactly.
That you do.
Yeah.
So yeah. So tell us, who is Miss Sheila Agnew? That's what I know about you, but tell us who you are.
Well, first of all, my original reason for getting on Instagram, I should say, was for my health and fitness. I am a personal trainer. I'm certified specialist with women and senior fitness, as well as corrective exercise. And that was my focus. I want to motivate and inspire older adults on their health and fitness journey. And I've been on that track for most of my adult life. And at the age of 65, I became certified as a personal trainer because I saw a gap in training for older adults. Now, my personality is such that I also do other things because I believe in what I was doing in the gym. And I'm not currently in the gym, just personal reasons. I needed to not be in one place. So I do a lot of my exercises online. But personally, I saw people struggling rather with their fitness journey. And I met a lot of people while I was in the gym. And one of the things that they liked is that I motivated and inspired them. It just wasn't them coming for an hour and I'm like, work, work, work. I'm included in what does it mean to have a knee surgery and then still come back and try to get your life back to active and back to normal. So all of those kind of things, the educational part, and my personality is I love to dance. I don't know how to dance, but I love to dance. So I just kind of mix it all in. And really, I've been on the aging thing for quite a while now. I've always thought it was important that we embrace the aging process. Now, embrace doesn't mean that you have to say, okay, well, I'm getting old, but embrace means that what are we going to do? Okay, we can't turn back the hands of time. I don't care how much surgery you get or whatever, you still have a lot of parts of your body that's aging inward, as well as outward. So it's really an educational component, a health component, and a living life component, a lifestyle component. So that's who I am.
Okay.
At this age.
And you call yourself amazing, or your platform, Amazing Aging.
Sheila's Amazing Aging. And
Sheila's
just so you know, I also have another platform on social media called Sheila's Fit 50 Plus. So that was my original account. And so, but I wanted to break away a little bit to focus more on the aging. And so that's why I have Sheila's Amazing Aging.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and I love the thing that that you do, like you'll come up there with a dress on and and look, this is how you wear this. And I'm like, go ahead, Miss Sheila. Right. That's what I always say.
Walking. Yeah,
Yes.
it's just moving with the spirit, moving with the flow, the rhythm of your body, your passion, all of that comes out in your movement. So that's what I try to portray. I tell people, I don't know if you saw it, I just did a post the other day where the young lady walked past me in the store and said, I'm going to look just like you when I get older. And then she repeated it and said, I'm going to look like you when I get older. So I gave my little spiel on that. I was inspired to say what I felt about that. I said, don't wait until you get older. Start
Ooh.
right now, And so, and I don't want you to look like me. I want you to look like you, as a better you, a better version of you. And, so those kind of things that inspire me that happen in my daily life.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about Grandma's 2.0 because like this morning I was at the store and I was at Best Buy and this woman said, "Oh, girl, you got it going on. I want to be like you when I grow up." And so I said, "Well, thank you." I said, "Are you a grandma?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay." So I gave her one of my cards, right? And I told her a little bit about Grandma's 2.0. And I said, and you don't have to wait until you grow up. You can start today, right? Just like that. I said, we start today. I said, and honey, grandmas are not what they used to be. Used to be grandmas. Well, I remember not my grandma, but my great grandma, two greats, would sit on the porch with the kids and all this kind of stuff, and everybody would be around under their feet, and and that's what we like to do with grandma.
Right.
But my grandma, oh no, she was doing it. She started her own business when she was in her grandma era, I call it. And she's the one that kind of motivated me to even pick up this mantle because like you, I didn't see a lot out there for grandma. And I saw something for women 40 plus, women 50 plus. Then I started seeing things women 60 plus. But that didn't necessarily include grandmas. It included them, but it didn't separate them out.
It didn't separate
them. What I wanted to do was kind of separate them out and say, okay, grandmas, because sometimes people believe that the only thing grandmas can do is babysit and give us money when we need it, right? And that's it.
Right.
And other than that, grandma, sit home, take care. You said you don't need to go nowhere. You need to do nothing. You had your fun. Well, that's not true because we can still have fun. We can still live.
You have to change the trajectory of how people think. Now, if Big Mama is your thing, I don't have a problem with that. Because I had someone tell me one time, well, what happened to Big Mama? So I said, well,
she gone.
I said, Big Mama don't live here no more. Okay. But I think that if that's your thing, fine. But I think that this new awareness of who you are, here's my thing. I tell my even in some of the classes that I do and everything, I tell people this is your happy time. This is not your time to be bogged down. And I do understand there are a lot of circumstances that happen. I get that. But at some point, it has to be about you. That does not mean that you forget about everyone else, but that means that you take time because you're in your third or fourth quarter, and this is your time to shoot the ball.
We need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves first, and then we'll be good for other people. But if we don't take care of ourselves first, we are not going to be good for anyone else.
I just have a friend that it's been about 4 or 5 years now, but maybe 5 years, and she was retiring. And she said, "Oh, girl, I'm retiring and I'm having my first grandbaby and I'm getting ready to stay home and I'm going to take care of my grandbaby." I asked her like about a couple of months ago, I said, "How's that working?" She said, "Girl, I sent her home to her mother." I said, I knew that wouldn't work long because I think it's good because I actually certainly, I have 4 grandchildren and 1 great grandchild. And I certainly love being around them. And the first ones, I was in their life like I was mama, daddy. Okay.
Right.
But then I had to make a decision about your decision should not affect my life. Okay. So I love them to pieces, but we do our thing. And then, we love it. I love it. They love it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
And my one of my granddaughters, I have 7 grandchildren. I have
wow.
one that's 21, the oldest, and then the baby is 2. And so the one of my granddaughters, I have 2 granddaughters, she said, "Grandma, you're the fun grandma." And I said, "Okay," because they were trying to get me to jump, these jump places where you jump on the trampolines
Right.
and stuff. And I said,
Right.
"I'm gonna jump a little bit, but don't go in there and jump really hard and then make me go up in there." I said, "Because you don't want to hurt grandma, right? You do. We tight, right? So don't start no
Right.
mess with me." But the thing is, I like to engage with them. I really like to, see what they're doing at school and that sort of thing. Sometimes I go visit school and take lunch, stuff like that. And then during the pandemic, I would take them lunch, even though they were at the house. But I really enjoy hanging out with them. They keep you young, they
Right.
keep you engaged, they keep you knowledgeable what's going on. And then that 2-year-old, oh my God, that little thing is a mess. It's a boy, so he's very active all over the place, but he keeps you going. And like when I go to their house, he wants to play basketball. And I'm like, "Do you play basketball with anybody else other than me?" My daughter said, "No." I'm like, "So why does he think I want to play basketball?" It's so funny.
Because you
But he's got
grandma.
little
That's what my
basketball goal in
kids
it.
told me when we were staying with me one time, and they woke me up and asked me for something. I said, "Why'd you ask your mom?" Because she sleep. I'm like, well, so was I. So I think that you hit it on when you said you can have fun with them. And that's where I want to encourage people. Your grandchildren are meant for you to enjoy and have fun. So a lot of times people can't do that because a lot of grandparents are keeping their kids now, due to circumstances. But even at that, even if you're doing that, find a fun time with them and then have it so that their time is going to be on their time and they do things without you so that you will be able to have that release. So the key is that you always want to have something that you go to, whether it's a gym or a knitting class or just something that you do that you enjoy, because as you get older and your friends and your family start to dwindle, then you want to have something to fall back on. You just don't want to just be existing. So always try to, even if you're younger now, 40, 50, 60, in my case, I'm 72. I think it's good to always find something that you can enjoy and be around groups of people and everything. And I know that a lot of people, especially since the pandemic, have been sitting home. And that really did a lot to us mentally. I don't care who it is. It did a lot to us mentally. So we need to find things to do that stimulate our minds. And so get out. I mean, the busiest place at the gym is Tuesday. And you know why that is? It's because, well, different gyms have it different days, but my gym, the busiest day was Tuesday because all of the people came to aqua aerobics. All of the older people, the lot is filled. They go to aqua aerobics because they want to feel good, because it's not just how you look, it's how you feel. So I'm an advocate of you don't have to stop because you're a certain age. Now you have to know when to say stop. I've done some things and I said, okay, that wasn't for me. Stay in your lane. But but it's still things that you can do that will help you have a quality of life. You want a quality of life and longevity.
Yep. Well, I have to say, your skin is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks so clear and everything. I'm like, oh my God, her skin is actually very beautiful. And people wonder, I'm sure people ask you that all the time. So how'd you get your skin to be so smooth and so blemish free? I don't see bags under your eyes, anything. So please tell us the secret.
I got those. But here's the deal with skin. I think skincare is healthcare. So you should take care of your skin like you take care of any other part of your body. So that includes cleansing your skin day and night. take out that makeup at nighttime, and that includes moisturizing. For me, my primary drink is water. I'm almost about 80%, almost to 85%, I drink water. And that's been something I've done for a long time.
Mm.
But it's important to exfoliate. And I know people say, well, I don't use soap, I don't use this, I don't use that, or whatever. I use a moisturizer, I use a cleanser, and I do exfoliate, and I do facials, but I do that, like the facial thing, like once a week. And other than that, I think just God is good, because I'm outside a lot. I do a lot of workouts outside and walking and all of that. And so the environment will put a lot of damage on you. So I just try to make sure that, your skin, and don't forget your neck, ladies, don't forget your neck. And I always tell people, because that's a part of your face to me, a part of your body. And then you could do your facial exercises. And those are the things that I personally do. But I think basically your basic cleansing, moisturizing, and drinking a lot of water, not pop and all of that, will be a step in the right direction.
And would you also say that food has a lot to do with it as well?
Oh, absolutely. I left out one of the most important things, fruits and your vegetables. And let me just say this, food has a lot to do with everything. It has a lot to do with how you look and how you feel, because, we got a lot of negative things happening with our food in the food industry these days. And so it really does have a lot to do with what you eat. I am a person who eats fruits and vegetables. My downfall would be a sweet, but I've learned to manage that as well. You can have a slice of cake, but you can't eat 3, 4, 5 pieces of the cake. So you have to get to a point where you monitor and you realize that less is more, particularly as you age. As you age, the most important thing about your food is that it's nutritional. And you don't have to have a pile full of food on your plate, because you want to focus on your nutrition as you age. But yes, fruits and vegetables by all means.
And you say you drink a lot of water. How much water do you drink per day?
Well, I drink anywhere from 8, equivalent to maybe 8 average glasses, maybe 64 ounces
Okay.
to the day.
Okay.
And I know that there's certain things that go on that people say, oh, you need to eat your body weight and half your body weight and all that. That might work for people. I'm just a simple person, and I don't do anything crazy. Even when it comes to eating and all of that, what I eat is basic, and that's me. And I do portion control. But I think we put too much into a lot of different kind of diets and all of that. I think we just need to be sensible, and we also need to make it nutritional. So going through I know people do a lot. I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying the less we do, the better we are, because we don't have to think about it. We shouldn't have to think about eating.
Yeah.
Again,
And,
I just told
and
my
it can become another job, a chore.
yeah,
And
it's
you
another
don't
job.
want
Oh,
that.
I
Yeah.
put
I
this, I
agree with
put
you on
that.
that.
And like I told my husband, I said, he's doing a guy trip with his sons. I said, just enjoy yourself. I said, you don't have to go crazy, but don't say, oh, I can't, you're on vacation, I can't eat this or that. Enjoy yourself, but learn how to, space yourself. And you don't have to, maybe you just want a nice meal at dinner, which you go to the islands, people always eat dinner and stuff, but just pace yourself, and so it's just a mind kind of thing, because if you start trying to keep up with this, that, and this worked for this person, and because it worked for that person does not mean it's going to work for you. So you just eat
That's
good
true.
food.
That is true.
Yeah.
And for me, half of my body weight, I would stay in the bathroom all day long. Because it would come right through me.
That would be
You sit
another
and I'm
issue.
like, that makes no sense. So I try to do at
Right.
least, like you said, the 64 ounces or so, 8-ounce glasses of water per day or something. I try to do that, and I try to maintain it like through the, so many in the morning, after, that sort of thing. So I can get
And
it
then
in.
if
And
you
I have to
don't
do
do
that for
that,
me.
Right. And if you don't do that, don't trip on it. I usually carry some kind of water bottle or bottle in my car
Yes.
and everything. And so I know that if I get thirsty when I'm out, I could drink water and things, that I keep a cooler one. I don't want the hot
Hmm.
water that's sitting in the car. But just be sensible. If you don't get that much, get something,
Yes,
besides soda
exactly.
and
Yep, yep, yep.
drinks that not sweet drinks that's not going to be good for you, because sugar and starch are, too much of it is not going to be your best friend.
So what's ahead for you as Sheila's amazing aging? What's ahead for you? What are your next year's goal? What do you want to be next year by this time? What do you want to be doing?
Well, next year about this time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to be doing anything. But that's not, I'm just kidding around with it, because I know that's not me. That will not last long. But actually I'm planning, hopefully in November, I'm pulling it together now. I'm going to be doing, a lot of people ask me these three questions: how do you stick, how do you start, how do you stick, and how do you stay? So I'm going to be doing a webinar on how to start, stick, and stay. And it's
Oh,
going to be a three-part series, and I'm going to be doing that, and going through my life and showing what I do, and showing people what they could do to start, stick, and stay. And
oh,
that's what,
wonderful, wonderful.
yeah.
That sounds really exciting because a lot of people always say, "Well, I don't know, where do I get started?"
Hmm.
And doing this, and what do I have to do? And then a lot of people think you got to do it all at one time. Take it slow. You don't
Yeah,
want
and
to
people
disrupt your
don't
whole
know.
life.
Yeah, yeah. They really don't know, because once you get to a certain point, you say, "Well, where do I go now?" Like now, I'm also a breast cancer survivor, a 6-year breast cancer survivor. So
Oh, wow.
I did a video on exercises that you do post breast cancer, or you could actually do them pre or during too, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly focused on post, because amazingly, we all don't, our healthcare is not equal. So we all don't go to places where they'll tell you what to do, or what do you do afterwards? How do you get back to your normal activities when you can only raise your arm like this, and things of that sort. So I created a video that gives some exercises as how to do it. When I was going through I had some radiation. When I was going to radiation, it was kind of like I showed the technicians. It used to be three, and I showed the technicians, because they teased me because I didn't need their help to get up off the
Uh,
table. So, so I showed them how to get up off the floor at your age, and so I'm in there trying to tell them how to show people how to get up and
right.
everything. But so I really just thought about, people don't know. So I would like to really be more of a help in that, and
Uh-huh.
showing people how to get back to, because sometimes you're just there, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know, um, well, how do I do this? And it just happens, or you
Mm-hmm.
keep struggling. I've had someone come up to me recently and tell me about how their breasts hurt. Well, I don't try to get into that, but through my experience, even before my own diagnosis, I could tell her some of the things she should consider, but mainly to call her doctor and let her doctor know.
Mm-hmm.
But so those are some of the things I like to be more involved in speaking, and going to events, and showing people how to work out at a certain age and things of that sort. That's where I hope
Mm-hmm.
to be.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that sounds very exciting because again, like I said, I think that's something that people really need to know.
Mhm.
And now do you have any products? Do you do your workout? You said you do some virtual workout. Is that your part of your package that you offer, or tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, if you go on I do have a website, Sheila's Fit
Okay.
50 Plus. No, it's not. My website is SheilaAgnew.com. I'm sorry. So SheilaAgnew.com. And it'll show my package on there. It won't show everything, but it'll show what I do, and you can contact me if you want more. However,
Okay.
when I do special programs, I do also put them, I do have that on my pages, and I also put them on my website. So whatever special I'm doing, I add it to the website. But
Okay.
I, as a brand ambassador, I do work with certain products and things of that sort. But
Hmm.
most has to do with skincare or fitness wear and things of that sort.
Okay. 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 All right. So yeah, I think that there's definitely a group out there, and what we want to do, we'll put your website address, okay, in
You can
the
put my
podcast.
website address, and then if you go to my website, it'll connect you to all my social, well, most of my social media,
Social media. Perfect.
because I
Perfect.
also
Perfect.
am on Facebook and my Sheila's Fit 50 Plus on Facebook, and
Okay.
I have a Facebook group that is
Okay.
called Lifestyle Fitness for Active Adults, and that's where I put a
Okay.
lot of my exercises in. Mhm.
Okay.
So I'm out
Excellent.
there.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah,
I'm out there.
and we have a group. We I didn't know about you probably before I started this group, but we did a group, and it's just for grandmas, right? And of course,
Hmm.
there's different age range. Let's see. I'm trying to see what the age range is. I think it's probably there's a small group of us. We have 4 in the group now. We started with 6. Well, we started with 8, then we went down to 6, then we now we're down to 4. Because you know what happens. Sometimes life happens. People decide to do something different or nothing at all.
Yeah,
And so
right.
anyway, so I think the group now is like 55 and up. And I have a young lady who teaches, who is a kinesiologist, and I found out about her because she focused on something called functional exercises.
Yeah, functional.
Just
Hmm.
being able to function day to day, and that is where
Hmm.
some people have trouble. After a certain
Right.
age, your body gets really stiff, and you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't pick up groceries, you
Right.
can't, all kinds of things. So
Hmm.
yeah, and so we found her, and she gives us a little mini lecture during the class, and then she, of course, she works us out and all that, and it's a great experience. And it's only 30
Exactly.
minutes, no, it's 45 minutes now, but it's a great experience because she's educating us, like you say, as we are doing the exercises. She tells us what this will help us with, why this is important to do, those kinds of things. And sometimes she'll say,
Right.
oh, this will help you be able to pick up that 2-year-old grandson that's, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Stoop, bend, sit, get off the
Yes,
floor. Those are serious and they're real,
yes.
because your body loses body mass as you age, as we most know, your bone density. So you want to strengthen all of that. So I'm a big thing on weight training, not heavy weights, but just training so that you can strengthen your body. Because I tell you, the more you do that, the more you do those things, the better you will be, because it will reduce you having to get certain surgeries. And even if you've had, like, I work a lot because of my corrective exercise specialty, I worked a lot with people who have had hip surgeries and knee surgeries and all of that. And the thing that you want to do is you want to get back to some sort of normal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you can do everything, and some people do. And so you want to get that. I've had people that come to me before the surgery, knowing they're going to have the surgery, but they come
Mm,
so that they will be, prepare their bodies for what's about to happen. So one of my things is, you always want to do some type of exercise so you can prepare your body in case something does happen. In my case, I had breast cancer, but I was prepared for it. Unfortunately, it was early stage and it was caught early, but I was prepared for it so that I could go through that with a minimum of discomfort and a minimum of issues with my treatment and, things of that sort.
mm,
So I think that that's important, that people don't understand that. Don't wait till you get whatever, be prepared, prepare your body in advance.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you're right, getting up off the floor is a challenge. it can be a
Yeah.
challenge after you turn a certain age. Getting down with
Right.
that little 2-year-old really has helped me because I noticed I'm like, wait a minute, I can't just pop up like I used to, right? So
Pop up,
you
right.
got to be careful, so you don't hurt yourself more and all of that. I mean, yeah, it can be a challenge. It
Right.
really can be a
Exactly.
challenge.
Or re-injure. I've
Yes,
seen
yes,
people
yes.
that, well, I had a friend that told me, she said, well, 20 years ago, I used to could lift 40 pounds. And then she go in the gym and lift 40 pounds and then was out for about a year, So
Mm,
you got to take your time. It's time and repetition. So if you
yes,
just move back into it slowly, don't jump up in there and move
yes.
slowly into it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm thinking about for myself. Like I said, I do that class. We do that 2 days a week. I do Pilates. I love Pilates, and
Mhm.
I was always afraid of it because
Mhm.
I didn't see many people that look like me in there. That's the number one thing, and the
Well,
number
yeah,
two
that's
thing,
another, yeah. Mhm.
yeah, and
That's
that the number
another
two thing
thing
is,
with, yeah, I agree with you. That's another thing with um, a lot of senior communities.
mm-hmm,
They're not geared toward African Americans
right,
because
right,
of
right,
the
right,
amount of money it takes to live there.
mm-hmm,
And so some people don't want to go because it's nobody that looks like them. So they may
mm-hmm,
not go to the things that are offered because they don't see a connection with the people. So,
right.
we got a lot of work to do.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yep, yep, that's true. But I went on in there anyway, and I like it because I can do things now with my body that I couldn't do before. I mean, the flexibility. And I've noticed these, I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, I wish I'd done this a long time ago. And it's
Mhm.
different. People think it's similar to yoga, and I guess it is in certain ways, but it's also different. I go to an organization called Club Pilates, and they have this reformer thing that you lay on in order to, with the ropes and the
Mhm.
livers and levers and all that stuff. And then sometimes, like I know the higher level classes, oh my God, these
Mhm.
people are suspended in air. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. It looks that way. They're not really, but it looks that way. They're doing the plank on the bed only without,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm like, wow. And so when I go on the plank, I'm on the floor, and I know the floor is not going anywhere, but that reformer moves back and forth if your body moves. So I'm like, ooh, I'm impressed with those kinds of things that I see people doing. But it is an exercise for your body that's an all over thing. I really am enjoying it a lot. I really like that. So I do
Mhm.
that.
It
And
works
lately I've been
good
thinking about
for you.
going to the gym and lifting some weights to kind of tone
Mhm.
up some
Yeah.
areas. Yeah, so I've been thinking about that. What are your
Right.
thoughts about that in the gym with weights and stuff?
I think that it's an absolute must. I think that there's a misconception about weights and that people say, "Well, I don't want to look like that. I want to look like man." Da, da, da.
Right,
But
right, right.
really, it's one of the best things that you could do for building your muscle mass and building bone density is weight training, and you want to you want to build it up. And I think that all the things that you said, the yoga, the Pilates, I think all of those are great. I just think you probably want to add the weight training and resistance training because they all work with toning your body and building up your body mass and bone density. So, and you don't have to use a lot of weights. I don't use a
Mhm.
lot of weights in a normal. Sometimes I might add weight if I'm doing a certain exercise, but I think that even if you start with a 5 pound and just move up, but also think it's good if you have someone that is helping you with it. I do have a series on my Facebook page, Sheila's Fit 50 Plus, where I'm showing people how to do weights and how to use the bands and all and those kind of
Oh,
things.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna look at that. Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I'm gonna look at that
And if you
because
click,
I
if
went
you
last week and I talked with the guy and I
mhm,
said, okay, I'm thinking about
mhm.
doing this.
Mhm. Do you
And I
go
like
to
said that
a
this is my next level. Would you say? I'm
do you
sorry.
go to a fitness do you go to a fitness center or these are
Well,
different
that's what it would be. It would be, but this is a privately owned one. So the gentleman who
mhm,
is the coach or the trainer or whatever owns
mhm,
that gym. and he's the one that will be working out, with me for the most
Right.
part. So yeah, it's not a big like Planet Fitness or any of those,
Right.
because I prefer having that one-on-one attention.
I got you. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that I can make
Especially
sure I'm
just
doing it
starting out.
right
Yeah.
and I'm not
Key.
harming myself. Right.
Absolutely. That is the key, is that you don't want to just go into the gym and just start doing stuff, and you really may not doing it right, especially if you're working with the machines. But the combination of machines and free weights, I think, is great, and you'll like it when you see what it does to your body if you're consistent with it.
So at Grandma's 2.0, we're focusing this season 2 on the 8 dimensions of wellness, and physical is being one of them. And I wanted to start there, and that's why I asked you, to be my guest for this season 2. And I'm going to be talking with other people around that as well. But those 8 dimensions include the, the emotional, the social, the occupational, the financial, the spiritual, intellectual, all those. And I really love that, because to me, and it's not a new concept, but it may be new to some people, right?
Exactly.
And
Right.
I like it because it helps us to think about holistically what we're doing for ourselves, and how, we're all about self-care. And self-care means not just looking at, okay, are my nails done? It goes way beyond that, right? So the part and everything. Yes.
And I think it's an offset from the mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
And so it's an offset to each one of those. So you're not just saying mind, or you're not just saying body. You're saying the components of that. You're saying the components of that. So I think that's really great.
And I want to be able to introduce different people who are doing things, grandmas themselves, that are doing things out here. Because since I've been doing this work, and I call it my work, this is my new purpose in life, right? And since I've been doing this, I have found some phenomenal women who happen to be grandmas, who are doing some phenomenal things. I have been very, very pleased, very excited about this. And oh my God. I just did a compilation of stories from different grandmas, right? And I'd like to ask you for the next one if you would be a part of it. If you go to my website, you'll see the books there. And please, if you're willing, if you're interested, please, I'd love to have you in it, because I like what you're doing. And I want to, like I said, find a way to kind of get it out there as much as I can to people. And I think we all helping each other helps the movement even more.
Right. Yeah, you do. Helping each other is what we really need to do. We really need to, because you see on this reality stuff all the time. I'm sure we might be bored if we get a reality show, because we're not going to be fighting and all that. Well, the producers really have people doing that. But the thing about it is, you see all this where people are not getting along and they're friends. And I'm like, well, I've had friends for 50 some years, and that is not how we communicate.
That's not real.
So, right? Yeah, it's not real. So I think the fact that it shows that we're helping and supporting each other is really phenomenal, and it will help other younger women see how relationships really are.
Ooh,
so you
right,
don't have
because
to.
they are of the mindset. Yes. So
And then they're growing up seeing all that on TV, and they think, okay, well, that's the way relationships should be. And I've had friends for, like I said, over 50 years, and some friends as far back as maybe 60 years. But what happens is, I can't remember a time when we had an argument or a fight.
Right. And I never called another woman a bee. What is that? Is that the new friend? Is that new term of endearment?
Yeah. So I think that's a good thing. And really, even funnier than that, some of the people that you really may have not necessarily got along with, they wind up being your friends. So it's like, it's like a new generation. So I think teaching and all of that, and even within our own age group, showing people different things. I think people are motivated, and I get that all the time, how people are motivated and inspired because of
Yes.
something they saw me do. And that
Mm-hmm.
motivates and inspires me to continue to do it. Because some days
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you know what, I'm not going to do this no more. And then somebody will say, well, this really inspired me. And so I'm
Right.
still doing it. So
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. That is true. That is so true. So like I said, when the lady came up to me this morning, it makes it all worth it. And that's just one person, yes. But if you can help one person a day, guess how many you can help in a lifetime, right? If
Right.
it's only one.
Right.
And my
Right.
son does he's out there on the internet as well. He does these motivational talks and stuff like that. And his cousins, last week we were at a family reunion, and his cousin said, yeah, man, I see you, I listen to your podcast all the time. And he was like, really? It's just surprising. And these are, of course, his peers, saying around the same age group, and they're also relatives. And he was surprised at that. And I say, so the thing is, you never know who's listening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you're
Yep.
on Facebook, when you're on Instagram, when you're on YouTube,
Right.
when you're doing a podcast, you never know who's listening to you.
Never know. Never
And
know. I
know who
see
you're
people in
helping.
that, stop me in the airport. You aren't you that person?
Right.
So you never know you never know who people. So
Exactly.
it's good that people recognize you. And I saw you on the internet and
Right.
so
Right.
it's good that people recognize the good, because they could say I saw you and you was doing something you shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
You know, yeah, so, yeah.
Right.
So it's good to
Right. That's
keep it
true.
positive.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. Well, Miss Sheila, thank you so much. I know told me not to call you Miss Sheila, but Sheila, thank you so much for being here
Mhm.
today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You look like my
Okay.
friend too. Her name is Merle. I gotta tell
Uh-huh.
her about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's my pleasure, and you have a beautiful rest of the weekend.
You too. Thank you, Sheila. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Introducing a remarkable book, a tapestry of stories from atypical grandmas whose lives are a treasure trove of wisdom and inspiration. Stories of inspiration, life lessons, and wisdom from grandmas by Dr. Marcia McLean. This extraordinary book is now available on www.grandmas2.0.com and on Amazon.